Well, that's an interesting question. The discipline of teaching yoga is not exactly the same as practicing yoga. One can be a fine practitioner and still lack the skill set to teach effectively and compassionately, and vice versa. But I find that the best way to teach is to lead by example and to practice, but with the skill set to meet people where they're at and to use skillful means to help them move in the direction of being able to practice yoga for themselves. That's a little bit different than making people dependent on you and making you always a part of the equation, which is confused with yoga these days. So yoga is developing self-control, and teaching yoga is teaching people the skills so they can practice self-control. And someday that means they won't need you anymore. And instead of being sad about that, you can be happy. You can be grateful for that. What first inspired me to teach yoga was seeing my first yoga instructor not only be so calm and peaceful in the midst of stressful circumstances, but to empower other people to do the same. And in the back of my mind, that just seemed so attractive that I wanted to do that myself. So when I saw an advertisement for a yoga teacher training in Arizona back in 1999, I planted a seed in my mind that that's what I wanted to do too. So I took a yoga teacher training at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, and it was hard but incredibly rewarding. And I've taken about 15 more since then, and every time I take a yoga teacher training, I learn something new that I didn't know before. And every time I teach a yoga teacher training, I'm also learning. So it's an ongoing process. The more you learn, the more you realize there is to learn, and it never stops. The thing I enjoy the most about being a yoga instructor is the experience of teaching. For an hour or more, I'm in a state of flow where I'm fully and wholeheartedly immersed in presenting the yoga technique or the philosophy to people, and it just feels so good doing it. So I'm not expecting some sort of outcome or reward, and I'm not living in the past, but I'm fully immersed in the present moment and doing what I love and what seems to be helpful to other people. And that flow state is something that is repeatable, can be done over and over again. So that's what I enjoy the most about teaching yoga. My favorite yoga posture is the one that I'm in right now. It's called Sukhasana. And some people might mistake it for the outer form that my body is taking. But the practice of Sukhasana, Sthira Sukhamasana, is to be firmly established in nonviolence, truthfulness, non-stealing, respecting personal boundaries, and non-hoarding. And to cultivate a good space continuously by practicing cleanliness of the three doors of expression, contentment, burning away mental afflictions, practicing self-governance, and devotion to sovereignty. So those habits combined with restraining ourselves from doing the things that destroy good spaces is Sukhasana. And I try to be in Sukhasana all the time. I don't always succeed, but I try. One reason why it might be worthwhile to become a yoga instructor is that it's one of the most rewarding lines of work. Not only do you have the joy of teaching, which helping people in the present moment without attachment to the results can be very rewarding in its own right, it also can empower people to do the same for others in generations that you may never actually see. Like, this is my first time coming to Spartanburg and to Ginger's studio, and I'm just amazed by what a great job she's done putting together this space. and I had no idea. But of all the lines of work that you could do, instructing yoga has certainly been the most rewarding for me. And though I've been doing it for 20 some years, I hope to keep doing so for 20 more.